GoPro turn off. GoPro turn off. GoPro turn off. GoPro turn off. Are you kidding me? Was it not recording that whole time? So I was a little nervous about this little kayaking trip I was going out on today. I'll give you a little backstory as to why. Some of you may know that I also like to do powerlifting. And of course that puts a lot of strain on the muscles, right? And I've never really been very good at squats. So a year and a half ago, I set out to get good at squats. I hated squats. And I said, I'm going to squat until I love squatting. Well, in that time, I developed some unexplainable pain in my quads. And so, you know, long story short, we've gone through a bunch of stuff with physiotherapists and doctors and x-rays and stuff. Turns out I've put a extra muscle on one side of my leg and not enough on the other, so my kneecap is pulled off to one side, and that's giving me some knee pain that's radiating into my quad muscle. So my kneecap is out of position. So I've been recently directed to change the angle of my feet when I'm doing any kind of leg work. They want me to rotate my toes outward a little bit more. Not a tremendous amount, but just enough so that my inner quad starts to get worked out as much as my outer quad. So that it may be in the hopes it would pull my kneecap back into the right position, because I'm stronger on one side of my quad. So that's fine, I start doing that. But then because I'm working out muscles that have not been worked out so vigorously before, I start getting night cramps on my inner thighs. And last night I was really cramping that night, and I'm telling you, it's painful. It's enough to make a grown man cry when that cramp hits you, and it's unexpected. You know, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden you roll over, and then wham, your leg all cramps up. It's excruciating. So, getting into the kayak today, I thought, geez, if I cramp up while I'm in the kayak and no place to roll over or stretch out or try to work it out, it's really gonna be bad. Bad scene. So I can feel those areas tensing like they're waiting to cramp, but I haven't cramped yet. I've been out 3 hours now in the boat, and I can feel like there's a cramp coming, but not. It's just kind of sitting there, you know, in the background, waiting to attack me. I'm trying to find a spot now to get out and have my dinner and head back, because it's I don't want to be coming back in the dark. It's already 7:30 in the evening. The sun is starting to go below the trees. I've been out 3 hours. I'm going against a pretty strong headwind all the way, mind you. But going back, I'm hoping I've got a tailwind, and I can maybe take that 3 hours down to like 2 or 2.5. But yeah, I gotta find a place to get out so that I can eat my dinner. One side of the shore is overgrowth that comes right into the water, so there's nowhere to get out over there. And on the other side is a steep bank that my old body just can't, isn't flexible enough to do that anymore. But I do see a little dock just a few feet ahead. Now, the other ailment that I have at the moment is I have a torn rotator cuff in my right shoulder. Ultrasound revealed that there are 2 muscles in my rotator cuff that are torn. It's not severe. It doesn't need surgery, but it's painful in certain positions. And getting out on a dock with my sore shoulder might not be possible. But we're going to give it a go here, see what happens. Because getting out on a dock is a different way of getting out than it is getting out on the shoreline. You really have to have some upper body strength to pull yourself up onto the dock. So, it's getting pretty dark. I don't have much time left before it's really dark. But the moon is very bright and the sun is almost down. I'm almost there. I got my headlight on and my flashlight on my kayak. So. And the boat activity is pretty much dropped off to nothing. So let me ask you a question. Is God getting weaker? Why doesn't God show himself? He can create the universe. He can part the Red Sea, talk from a burning bush. But nowadays, all we seem to get is images on toast and weeping statues, which, by the way, always turns out to be a hoax or leaky pipes. There's always some reasonable explanation for these so-called weeping or bleeding statues. According to the Bible, there used to be some pretty incredible miracles. Jesus fed thousands with a handful of bread and fish. God flooded the entire world with more water than exists in the world. That's pretty awesome. I mean, dick move, but pretty awesome. Jesus walked on water and healed the lame. A whole bunch of people came back to life, crawled out of their graves, and walked the streets of Jerusalem right after Jesus' resurrection. That sounds pretty fucking amazing. God, if the book is true, definitely used to make his presence known. Like he spoke to people in a thunderous voice. Sent his angels. He was a part of the world. Remember asking my mom these questions when I was a kid? It's like, there was a lot of miracles in the Bible, Mom. Why don't we see miracles anymore? And, of course, I'd always get some lame answer like, every baby that's born is a miracle, meh. Every person who is sick and gets well is a miracle, meh. Every tornado that rips through a trailer park and flips open the Bible, and the Bible is preserved, even though 6 people were killed. That's a miracle. I didn't buy it then, although I continued to believe in God till I was in my late 30s and early 40s. But the answers just sounded so lame. I didn't buy it, but I just kept on believing. Weird. So why doesn't he show himself? Should be easy for him. I don't know what it would take to prove to me that God exists, but God knows. He's all powerful, smartest dude who ever lived. Or existed, I should say. So where the fuck is he? He gave us brains, the ability to be skeptical, the ability to think and be thoughtful, and then condemns us to an eternity in hell when we find there's no evidence for his existence. You just have to believe. Oh wait, he did leave us some evidence. There's a dusty old book written by men with stories in there that are very similar to stories of many other religions. I'm not convinced. Hence, atheist, not being convinced. God, I had that conversation the other day again on the definition of atheism. Yeah. So condemning us to hell for not believing in him when he hasn't left a shred of evidence to prove it. He's a just God? That doesn't sound just to me. Why is God playing the world's best game of hide and seek? Do you know what has the same definition as an unresponsive, hidden, uninvolved God? A God that doesn't exist. So God sets up this system, right? Where we're supposed to believe in him, but he leaves nothing behind. He just fucks off. Leaves no evidence of his existence. And we're just supposed to believe him. Why can't he demonstrate to everyone with his almighty power that he is real and that he cares about us and that he loves us? I mean, it's an easy thing for me to do with my children. I know how to demonstrate to them that I care about them and love them and that I exist. I think I'm smarter than God. Anyway, if he did demonstrate that he existed, if he did prove it, if he is real, then from what I've read in the Bible, he sounds like a massive cunt anyway. I wouldn't follow that guy. Certainly wouldn't worship him. He's mean. He flooded the entire world because he was unhappy with the people that he created. You would think that such a powerful God could have found a better way. Did he have to flood the earth and murder millions, including innocent babies and children? What did they do? By the way, I think the devil's the real good guy here. I mean, the only time that he's spoken of in the Bible is when he's actually trying to get somebody to believe the truth. He never lied. He never hurt anybody. There's no stories about him telling people how to treat their slaves. God did that. It's in the Bible. He teaches you how to treat your slaves, where to get them from, how to trick them, and how much you can beat them as long as they don't die within a couple days. Devil's definitely a good guy. And weak, yes, he is definitely weak. He's the weakest God who ever existed, if he existed. If any gods ever existed, he's the weakest. Because I could blaspheme the shit out of that motherfucker right now, out here in the middle of this very dark lake, and nothing will happen to me. I could say God's an asshole, nobody should believe in God, he's a jerk. You know, I could say lots of terrible things about God. I could call out to him right now and say, God, I'm right here. I'm in the middle of this deep, dark lake, kayaking away. Nobody's around. You can do whatever you want. No one will ever know. You can get away with it. Just fuck with me right now. I'm doing fine. I mean, other than the fact I'm a little nervous about being out on a deep, dark lake, in the dark, in a kayak, with a little light on the front. Otherwise, I'm doing fine. God didn't smite me. So then you might say, well, what about all the people who say they've had personal experiences with God? He walks with me. He talks with me. He answers my prayers. Well, some of you will say, well, it's a metaphor. He talks with me, he walks with me, answers my prayers. It's all metaphorical. Doesn't literally do any of that. But I say no. Christians, many of them, believe this is absolutely true. And I think that they're being really, utterly dishonest when they say this. But I also know that they kind of believe it's true even though they're being dishonest. This is the conundrum that happens with religion. They're being dishonest, yet they believe it's the truth. God does not walk with you. I can demonstrate what walking with you is. I can go for a walk with you, and you can touch me, you can feel me, you can see me. I can be demonstrated to exist next to you. My footprints are left there on the ground next to you. We can scientifically prove that I was there walking with you. You can't do that with God. You can't demonstrate it. Same with talking. I can talk to you. We can scientifically demonstrate that I have talked to you. We can record my voice. We can measure the decibels and the pitch, lots of other things. It's measurable. It's demonstratable. You can hear it. People around you can hear it. Lots of people can hear it when I'm talking to you. That's what talking to you means. This God talks to me bullshit is it's kind of like, I think what they might think is so when like a butterfly smiles at me, that's God smiling at me, and that's him talking to me. See? Okay, sure, whatever. But if you actually hear voices, think about this. If a voice tells you to take your son out into the woods, tie him to a stump, and murder him with a knife, would you do it? I would hope that all of you would not do that. And I know that all of you would not do that. My mother, a devout Christian, would not do that. Everyone I know who's a devout Christian would not do that. You know why? Because deep down they know that God didn't talk to them. And because they know they are more moral than the God they believe in. But they want you to believe it's real. And don't even get me started on prayers being answered. It's been demonstrated in study after study that prayer is ineffective. It works at about the same rate as chance. You could flip a coin and get the same results. You could pray to a donkey and get the same results. In fact, some of those studies even showed that when a person is prayed for when they're unwell, they actually get worse. Not really sure why. I mean, I could speculate why, but oh, I just lost my light. So God doesn't talk to you, or walk with you, or answer your prayers.
Hey there, my friends. If you enjoy my videos and you would like to see more, click subscribe, and don't forget to click on the little bell to get your notifications. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Just look for The Atheist Experiment and you'll find me. See you next time, and stay skeptical.